So there's a circle, which is the universal set of my comfort zone. And then the magic happens in an entirely different area outside of that. What's incredible is economists are linear. They write models. The models do not represent the real world, because if you show a small child a chart of GDP, it goes up and down in a cycle. We know the economy is cyclical, yet economists build a steady state model, right? So we know that's wrong. But then many of us understand cyclicality, booms and busts, and that becomes law to us. But it's not law. It's law to some things. Exponentiality is something that you see most often in technology, viruses, and other stuff. And at this point, you have to understand trend rates of growth. And is this cyclical or not cyclical? Is the adoption of AI cyclical or not? I mean, anybody will tell you it's not. It's a secular trend change. So therefore, why would you want to short companies that are involved in this business? You should be biased only towards buying them. Now, whether at what value and what price, okay, that's a market timing issue. But you know you're armed with exponential growth. And people don't see that because they fear it. Because if I say to you, oh, well, AI is about to go exponential, as are the robots, the first thing that happens to you is fear. It's like, what the fuck does this mean to me? Right? So you start now clouding it with emotion. And it's like, I don't want that. I don't believe in this world. I want to go back to the Mustang and the days of gasoline and, you know, where we would go to the ball game with our hot dogs, whatever it is, right? Whatever you anchor onto the past for safety. So people really fear change because change is unknown. So how you have to deal with it is embrace it. If you know there's a secular trend change, then embrace it. Because then it's where the magic happens. All the magic happens outside of your comfort zone. It's never in your comfort zone. So there's a circle, which is the universal set of my comfort zone. And then the magic happens in an entirely different area outside of that. And it's the same with investing. It's the same with life in general, is you need to be out of your comfort zone and understanding it's okay not to know, but to embrace. One of the things, I was working for a hedge fund, a famous big hedge fund, doing very well, and I quit. And I decided to go and move to the Mediterranean coast of Spain and try something I've never tried before, which was writing. And that was outside of my comfort zone because I gave up a lot of potential future income. Starting Real Vision, something I knew nothing about, was even how to make a video, let alone run a company. But outside the comfort zone is where the magic happens. So I want to embrace it because I saw the opportunity. Blockchain technology, another one, you know, outside the comfort zone. I don't know where this is going. I don't know what this really means, but I think I've got an idea and I want to be involved. So I actually live my life according to this. I go around the world diving with sharks. Why? Because it's uncomfortable. Or I love trekking across deserts. Why? Because it's dangerous. Not because I'm a thrill-seeking junkie. It's because you learn about yourself and the world around you when you're outside your comfort zone. That's why I like travel in general. I like to be in situations that is not a 5-star hotel with hot and cold running flunkies. You want to be in a backpacker hostel where you don't know what the hell's going on and you can't speak the language. Why? Because the magic happens there. The magic's never going to happen in a Ritz-Carlton in some city. It's just never going to happen. But it will happen when you take yourself out of that.
And you certainly will appreciate what you already have when you're in these uncomfortable moments as well, right? You can be more grateful for what you have.
Yeah, and gratitude's a really important thing because if not, you get complacency. You take everything for granted. But once you realize that, you know, when you're living in a desert for a couple of weeks, you realize that life and death is a decision away. It makes you really appreciate the security of the lives that we have. But if you hadn't have done that, you're watching the media, you think everything's terrible, it's the worst possible thing, and you don't actually realize how easy life is compared to what it's like for others or what Mother Nature can throw at you. Mother Nature's a great humbler, right? Because, you know, you can be here on the Caribbean Sea and it's beautiful turquoise flat calm, but my God, when the hurricane comes, that sea is terrifying and it's completely out of your control. I just wrote to my subscribers for Global Macro Investor, which is my kind of institutional research service, said, listen, this is what I'm doing with Real Vision. We want to raise some capital. Are you interested? And we raised $5 million in about a week. We're like, wow. The next time we went to raise capital, we thought we'd ask our members, because the US had passed the Jobs Act that allows you to crowdfund from accredited investors. So we're like, okay, fine, as long as you've got an existing relationship with them. So we just wrote to our members and said, listen, we're raising capital for growth. That's what we want to do. And there we raised $10 million in a week. We're like, oh my God. So now we've got a business being funded by our customers. Not only are they subscribers, but they're investors as well.